Hey, hey, hey. Good morning, good morning, good morning. At least it's morning here on the West Coast. And unfortunately, I have some very crazy, unfortunate breaking news that is happening and taking place in Texas. So that's why I'm here. If you don't know by now, there is a search underway for 18-year-old allegedly named Timothy Simpkins, who is again, allegedly responsible for a mass shooting in Texas. And so, again, they are, the school has already gotten the already clear, and they are pretty much looking for this individual who allegedly committed this mass shooting. And so I wanted to come on and just kind of share this breaking news with you guys, but also to use it as a caveat, or actually a highlight as far as the conversation we've been having up until this point about preparation, everything. And one of the things that I mentioned was, what if there's an emergency at your child's school? What would you do? And that's kind of the conversation right now. I'm going to share the link right now where we could see that they are preparing and just kind of organizing the families on how they can be reunited with their children. So, yes, y'all, breaking news, another mass shooting in a school in Texas. So, let me share this screen with you and we could talk further. Um, so, here it is.
Gun shop loopholes. We need to try to take guns off the street, minimize do background checks, all the things that we can do to minimize the number of guns that are even available to people.
So as you can see, they're kind of organizing the kids. Looks like they have relocated them. But again, the search is underway for an 18-year-old Timothy Simpkins after a Texas shooting in a high school. This is so unfortunate. And the scary part, for lack of a better term, is the fact that our kids are really, I think they're becoming immune or numb to mass shootings, where it used to catch the country by storm. It would be breaking news everywhere. And now it's just like another one. And so, yeah, I don't want that for us as a country. I don't want that for our children, for this to be a every month, every week uh, situation that people just become numb to. Um, Blind Guy says, love, Blind Guy, his wife, their life, says love and healing to those involved. Yes. So there is report that good day, people. Yes, there are reports. Hey, Royalty Queen, good to see you. There are reports that, oh, wait, let me turn the volume up for you guys. Sorry, I'm just talking over it.
It's really nuanced. You got to find the right balance. Certainly, having plans in place, working through these potential scenarios with young people. They know what lockdown is. They know how to shut their phones down or silence their phones. They know how to text information to nearest family members. Often, families will have plans like that in place already to help provide for safety and information. So, we want our kids to be able to go to school and enjoy their youth, but we do have to take extra precautions. But certainly, making it so fortified that it feels oppressive, we don't want to see that happen either.
All right. Retired Seattle Police Chief Carmen Best, NBC News law enforcement analyst, we appreciate your time and your perspective today. Thank you.
She's got a good point, and she pretty much is echoing what we have been saying. But also, if you're just tuning in, there has been another mass shooting in America at a high school where there are multiple injuries, but also the shooter allegedly has gotten away. And it's being said that he is 18-year-old Timothy Simpkins. Forge Man says, this is very sad to hear. Unfortunately, talking gun control is not the answer. The answer is a matter of better security, live shooter protocol being taught to the students. Sad but true. You know, Forge Man, they are doing a lot of shooter protocols, shooter training, and stuff like that as far as mass shooting drills. But the truth of the matter is, you know, gun control isn't the answer in the sense, There's a lot of mass shootings. There's a lot of things that's going on. But the truth of the matter is, there's no way that they're going to be able to get these guns off the street. But let's listen.
Simpkins is believed to be the shooter here. Authorities are saying here at this hour that it was an apparent fight within a classroom that led this individual, this 18-year-old student, to pull out a weapon and to begin to shoot.
My goodness.
4 individuals who were injured, 2 of them apparently from gunshot wounds. Among those 4, 3 of them were students. 1 of them was identified as an older individual, potentially a teacher. 3 of those individuals are at the hospital. 1 of them was believed to be a pregnant woman who sustained injuries at the school but was not transported to the hospital. But what you are seeing now is those law enforcement authorities go room by room, identifying the students inside of those classrooms, taking photos of their IDs in order to identify what the student population was on campus here this morning. They are then being loaded onto those buses and taken to that district performing arts center where they are being reunified with their families and then released here. But again, 18-year-old student, Timothy Simpkins, believed to be in a Dodge Charger, having left the campus here, but still on the loose. Local, state, and federal law enforcement are working on this here. The U.S. Marshals are on this here. ATF is investigating the weapon that was believed to be used, how this individual accessed the gun, whether this individual still has the weapon. Again, this is an 18-year-old student, though, who is the fugitive, no longer believed to be on campus, but law enforcement is verifying that. That is.
So this is heavy. This is heavy for so many reasons. You know, I could see, you know, a lot of problems in this situation as it relates to being able to problem solve. What happened to the point where this situation escalated to the point where he wanted to pull out a gun? You know, again, I talk about growing up in the city and, you know, mass shootings and school shootings were very common in Florida, even when I was growing up. However, it never got to the point where it would be before school or after school or on the weekend. It's very significant that he was able to have a weapon, a firearm during school hours. You know, is it time for metal detectors? Is it time to really implement the clear backpacks? What is really going on with school security that this young man allegedly was able to have this weapon on campus? So yeah, Royalty Queen says it's been enough mass shootings to not be enough of security around. My prayers go out to the families affected. Absolutely. My prayers go out to the families of the wounded. You know, the newscaster just reported that there was several injuries, someone pregnant, someone older, some students. And allegedly all of this started as a result of an argument, as a matter of fact. So let's listen.
Part of the process of going room to room to absolutely clear the campus. They have said it is an all clear situation, but they are still working to work through this campus because that individual is still on the loose and believed to be a present danger.
Yeah, it's fascinating to watch these police officers pause every single student as they come off those buses. For those of you who are looking at the left side of your screen, you can see each one of those students come off the bus. They're getting checked. They're being identified by police officers. And only at that point are they allowed to go home to their parents. Von Hilliard, thank you so much for following this for us. And we'll come back to you a little bit later in the program.
We have Dale Topham now on the phone with us, a teacher at Timberview High School there. Dale, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
I know you've just been through a terrible ordeal there at your school. I'll ask you first, just how are you doing right now?
Doing well. We're just, me and the students are waiting to be evacuated.
Can you walk us through what you know about what happened, what you experienced earlier today at school?
Sure. So I am an instructor for Tarrant County College, and I'm here on Timberview campus teaching college level U.S. history to high school sophomores. About 9:20 this morning, heard a horrendous racket. To me, it sounded like people in the room next to us were picking up desks and chucking them. But my students instantly recognized them as gunshots. So they hopped up and fled and went for cover. They turned off the classroom lights. We jumped mine cover. We went and tried to lock the classroom door as per protocol, but discovered that the door would not lock. So we ended up pushing a bunch of.
So yes, we're getting a firsthand account from someone that was on campus, and I just wanted to break in because Destiny had a comment, and she said, this isn't a mass shooting. It's a targeted shooting during an altercation. Very different. For me, I called it a mass shooting because more than three people allegedly were shot. But you're absolutely right. This was a shooting that affected multiple people. And as a result of an altercation in a classroom, allegedly. This is the story that's being reported. But Buchanan is sending up her prayers, love, and everything else to the families and everyone else. Good to see you guys once again. So yeah, if you're just joining in, breaking news is underway that there is a search for an 18-year-old who allegedly pulled a firearm during an altercation during a argument in a classroom. I don't know why I'm tongue twisted. I think it's because it's early and I'm just jumping on breaking news. So, basically, allegedly, Timothy Simpkins is the alleged shooter. It is said that he fled the campus in a Dodge Charger. It's being reported that the FBI, local police, and state police is really looking for this individual as a result of this shooting. Again, I'm not calling it a mass shooting based on the fact that, it was huge as in the sense of, a Columbine or something like that. But it does sound like there's more than one person that was injured and or shot as a result of this. So, Destiny says, yes, I'm just saying this is what happened with our young people all over the country. They're pulling out guns to resolve conflict, not thinking about the ramifications. Exactly, Destiny. You're absolutely right. And that was the thing that I spoke about a couple of minutes ago. It's like, you know what? Where's the ability to problem solve? Where's the ability to handle situations? I'm going to let this play live without the volume while we're speaking. Where are the problem solving, the de-escalation, the moving on, and just not realizing that if you pull a weapon, first of all, like I said, there needs to be a conversation about the fact that he allegedly had the weapon on campus. How? In this day and age, how is that even possible that someone has a weapon on campus at schools in 2021. Now, if you're just tuning in or you're just tuning into my channel, check out the videos, and I'll link them after this live below, that we've had about preparing for things like this. Because as we saw, if you rewind a little bit, as we saw, parents are now being reunited with their children. But what happened up until that point? Parents are frantic. And the truth of the matter is, even if my kid texts me as a result of this, I'd still be frantic. So yes. So y'all, let's see what they have to say about this young man.
Now there's a lot of noise next door to, that's gunshots. Just that, split second.
A baby.
The other thing that was interesting might not be the right word, but the students knew exactly what to do, and they acted immediately to carry out protocol and did exactly what they're supposed to do.
They've been drilled enough. Of course they're going to know what to do. Jeez, Louise.
And they're saying, those were gunshots, and they're running for cover and turning off the light, etc.
Dale, Toppin, I have to say thank you so much for just the details you have provided us, and we really wish you the best. I know you're focused on your students, as any wonderful adult and teacher would. Props to you for teaching U.S. history, one of the best subjects there is to learn, especially to those
So yes, this is breaking news. Arlington, I want to say Arlington, but don't quote me on that. Definitely in Texas, there has been another school shooting, and the search is underway for 18-year-old Timothy Simpkins, who is said to be the alleged shooter as a result of an altercation in the classroom. So again, Royalty Queen, again, Destiny, you're absolutely right. The de-escalation, the fact that there was time where people would get in arguments at school and it wouldn't turn into this. Like I said, I've been through school shootings when I was younger. It happened on the weekend. It would happen off campus. It would happen after school. It would even happen at our football games. Very common. However, the fact that it happened as school was happening, and that, I'm not gonna lie, there have been rumors when I was younger, and I'm talking, it's been almost 30 years since I've been in high school. But even 30 years ago, pre-medical detectors and all this, and mass shootings, shooting drills and everything, I know that there were people who probably had weapons at school. Absolutely. But here we are on the heels, some 30 years later, of so many mass shootings happening at schools, or school shootings, whatever we want to call them, where there has been mass casualties. How is it that this young man, allegedly the shooter, Timothy Simpkins, was able to have the gun, the weapon, on campus? Let's see what she says.
Where do we go from here, Soumya? I mean, the reality of it is, this isn't, anyone who's experienced trauma knows it is not just about the event of that day. It is about the legacy of that day. And it's something that people deal with over and over and over again. So what are the tips? If you could hug one of these students getting off that school bus right now, what would you tell them to do in order to help them heal in the days and the months and the years ahead?
One of the most important things we can all do is provide a sense of safety and security for these children because of what they have gone through. And like you said, what they will continue to go through, because a big part of what happens in traumatic experiences is the re-experiencing of that trauma.
Oh yeah, these children are going to need counseling. They're going to need help. They're going to need, again, that sense of comfort, even just to return back to school. This is a traumatic experience. A lot of times, individuals will experience, what's it called? Survivor's remorse. Even if there's, so it was Arlington, Texas. I wanted to say it, but I was like, let me make sure. And not necessarily that people have passed away, but just the fact that, they made it out safe, and the trauma behind all of that, and reliving that moment, and feeling as if they are in that moment and reliving it over and over and over. The lack of sleep, the anxiety, the heart rates increasing, all of that. These kids absolutely at this point will need to be comforted. So anyway, my friends, I hope you guys are having a great day. Yes, prayers, many thoughts goes out to those that are injured, and even those that no harm has come to them. They're still going to need reassurance. They're going to need comforting. They're going to need to be safe. And it's going to take time for them to recover from this, because those of us that are miles and miles away from this situation, we still feel the sting of it, and we weren't even there. So can you imagine the teachers, the students, the support staff, and administration at that school and what they're feeling now, the parents and what they're feeling now? So shouts out, many prayers. Our hearts go out to the school district, to the community of Arlington, as a result of this mass shooting. But again, if you're just peeking in, we've been having the conversation since the Facebook shut down and all of that. Are you prepared for something like this to cripple your communication with your family? What would you do in a situation like this? So yeah, safety and security is my concern. People are weary of wanding and metal detectors, but I'm a fan of the prevention of these type of situations. Me Too blind guy, his wife, their life. I don't want it to come to that, but I really do believe it's to this point. Post 9/11, one thing that I find frustrating is the fact that we can't go and sit on the White House lawn. The tours are kind of, restricted and stuff like that. Pre 9/11, all of that looks completely different, as you know. And so I often think about that. But I understand that it's a necessary change that has happened as a result of something very significant, and that could be crippling to security and safety of the nation. The same thing can be said about the schools. I don't want my kids to go to school. I don't want your children, your elementary school children, to go through school where there's a metal detector or something like that. That can be very psychologically damaging to a point. Because again, I don't want the kids to be used to this. But the flip side of that is um, they'll be safe, or it's a preventive measure. At least it's in place. Because here's the thing, for whatever reason, this student allegedly was able to have a weapon in the classroom. And for there to be an altercation in a classroom, such a small space, compared to, having a shooting outdoors or in a stadium or something like that, such a small space, and multiple people were injured, that's concerning. That's concerning. Roti Queen again echoes, whatever happened to metal detectors they used to have? Well, here's the thing. Not all schools have metal detectors. Not all schools have that. So as a result, stuff like this is happening. So let me see if I can find it again. So before we head out, we can get an update before we head out. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, there has been a school shooting in Arlington, Texas, and we're just discussing, the safety concerns, wishing everyone well. Yeah. Okay, I can't find it because I X'd out of it by accident. I'm sorry, but you know what? This is Melissa Berrien Live. I wanted to come on and share with you guys the breaking news. Again, warm thoughts, prayers for everyone involved. And hopefully we can get this alleged shooter off the streets, and so that everyone can be safe in that community, so everyone in that community can sleep just a little bit more soundly. I remember going to school and we had to walk through before entering our classes along with badge checks. We didn't have any of that at my school. And like I said, where I grew up, where I went to school, this was not uncommon. Like, I remember, but again, it was not in our school. It happened before school, after school, at the game, something like that, but not in a classroom. Destiny says, sadly, if this shooting happened outside of school, someone's child would no longer be here. Yep. And that usually would be what the story was as far as when I was growing up. I can think of many classmates that are no longer with us as a result of gun violence happening off campus. So this is a bit concerning, again, 30 years later, after all these incidents, and as they are preparing the children, as they're doing the drills, as they're doing that this young man allegedly was able to have the weapon on campus. Very, very concerning. That's what we're up against. We need to reach these young people whose brains are not fully developed. Absolutely, Destiny. Their brains are not fully developed. They are thinking in the moment. They're thinking instant. They're thinking, they're not thinking long term. They're not thinking consequences. And that's always a byproduct of being, 18. Typically, I'm not going to say always, but that's an undeveloped brain at 18. However, if we do more conflict resolution, and also just kind of changing this bad boy mindset, bad boy, bad girl mindset of, I don't agree with you, you don't agree with me, let's have it out, boom, boom, boom. That's problematic. Instead of just let's agree to disagree, we might even throw hands and we end up at the principal's office. That's almost a thing of the past, going to the principal's office. And so if you're just tuning in, welcome to my channel. I am live with breaking news that there has been a shooting in a classroom allegedly in Arlington, Texas. And the country is reacting. I am reacting. And part of our reaction is the fact that allegedly this individual was able to have a firearm in classroom and was able to commit this crime allegedly during school hours while in the classroom. So there's a lot to unpack here. And we're just having a conversation as we pray these people well, pray that they are going to be able to recover. And I think they will. You know, unfortunately, schools were prepared. And if you catch the replay, a teacher was live and hold on, let me type this. And he explained how the kids are ready. The kids did what they were supposed to do. The children responded. Here we go. So let me share this as I'm talking. The children responded in kind, how they were supposed to, as a result of the mini drills that they have been doing over the past couple of years. So here's the suspect, the alleged suspect.
Student at that school. Don't know if he was a student in the classroom where there was some sort of fight. But police say a fight in the classroom is really the origin of what happened, that Timothy, they're saying, shot 2 students in that classroom and then somehow injured another student and then also injured what sounds like a parent, a teacher or some sort of staff member. So
okay,
he's out there right now in a silver Dodge, 2018 silver Dodge. And we suspect the next time we hear a lot of information from the police department, it will be about this. So
Right.
let's take a quick reset here, station ID, and we're going to keep talking about the situation.
All right, we know that people are joining on as we go through our coverage here, and so
here's Timberview High School as the Arlington police are searching for the school suspect, the alleged shooter. So it's good news, Destiny. You are correct. Based on what is being reported now, it doesn't really sound like it was a mass shooting in a sense. It really just sounds like 2 people, perhaps, or whatever. But, you know, the thing about it is that, here we go, 2 shot, 2 more injured, suspect not in custody, all clear at the school. So that's another good point. All clear at the school. The school has been all clear. If you rewind a little bit, you will see that they are relocating the students to another location so that the parents they can be reunited with their parents or loved ones. So again, 2 shot, 2 more injured. So to your point, Destiny, I may have to edit the title. I'm not sure what it says right now because I'm not in that part of the stream. But yes, this is a multiple people shot and injured, but no, this is not a mass casualty, mass shooting. This is not a Columbine or all the other shooting type situation. So that's good news, as much as it's horrible news for the 2 people that have been shot and the 2 people that have been injured and the countless thousands, or if not hundreds, if not thousands of children that are now affected by this. Vlog Grapido JMS says the day is still short. Beware copycat attacks. That one kid that wants glory will unleash hell. I'm waiting for the big one. These school shootings are low-level shootings. Wait for the big one. Oh, geez. I pray not. I really do. I really do pray not. So again, here's some coverage where parents are being reunited.
Picture of the suspect here. This is Timothy George Simpkins. Maybe as a future note, we can throw his name up there on next time we see this graphic. But he's an 18-year-old student at Mansfield Timberview High School. He is the suspect in this shooting, an altercation inside a classroom where he allegedly shot 2 other students there who are in the hospital now. injured a third student. We don't know the situation with the conditions at any.
Okay, good. So it doesn't sound like anyone has died from their injuries. And I'm not going to say yet. I won't say yet, but hopefully no one will. You know, you look at this and this is someone's son, this is someone's nephew, this is someone's cousin, this is someone's best friend. And it's unfortunate because at 18, you know, if he's guilty of what's being alleged that he did, it's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So let's see what Rebecca has to say.
But I will tell you that when I first arrived, there were just so many police officers responding code. I was one of the first reporters on the scene because I lived nearby. There were parents everywhere. It was a very chaotic scene. Now it's calm. As you can imagine, inside the school now is going to be a huge forensic scene. So they have more troopers and people coming here to the school. Just a little while ago, we saw 3 motorcycles escorting a trooper through here. It looked like some sort of investigative team. So as you can imagine, now they have to go through, they have to get shell casings, they have to map out what happened inside.
Yeah, at this point, it's going to be an investigation. The school will be a crime scene. And, you know, even that type of trauma for children to just know that this happened on their campus. You know, have you ever been robbed or your home? So you weren't home, or your bag or your purse. It's such a feeling of being violated when you know someone was in your space. And so even though the school is a public building, to know that this happened, something traumatic happened in your space is very, very concerning, and it's jarring. And so these kids have, you know, the community has a long road to healing. Every article mentions in bold that he's Black. Of course it does. Of course it does. Because the thing about it is that, in my opinion, and I guess to your point, Destiny, in my opinion, we typically, when I say we typically, African Americans typically do not go to school, have a mass shooting up everyone. It happens, I'm sure, but it doesn't happen in mass. However, I know for, I'm not going to say a fact, but I can definitely believe that Black African Americans are known to have school shootings as a result of a altercation. So I guess that's to your first point, Destiny. And so, yeah, I can see that being something that, you know, they want to highlight because, yes, there's a running joke, there's running commentary that African Americans do not pull off school shootings. And in the true sense of a mass shooting and everything, that is not what this is. This is an altercation. And I think this is very common. It's common, you know, in the clubs and everything else. So it's now carried over into the schools. This is another pull out of hair while we are at work. And have to worry about our kids' safety. We never get a break. You know what? Blessings to you and everyone that is at work. Blessings to the parents that are at work and they're finding out about their actual kid, you know, their children that are in Texas. You know, just peace. I pray for peace for everyone in this situation. And you know what? Again, this goes along with the conversations that we've been having for the past couple of days on being prepared for situations like this. Thankfully, it doesn't sound like there are, you know, a whole bunch of deaths, a whole bunch of people, and one is too many. But what I'm saying is, on a grand scheme of things, thankfully, it could have been worse. But again, this stems allegedly from an altercation that happened in the classroom. So this is probably going to look a little bit different than someone showing up to the school with the intent to have mass casualties. So thanks a lot, Destiny, for that initial comment and continuing the conversation. What the Funk says happens all the time outside of school. School beef causes a lot of fights and murders. Absolutely, What the Funk, and that's what I was sharing from my experience. Yes, it happens all the time. I have classmates, of course, 30 years ago at least, that are no longer with us because of shootings. I mean, you know, when you grow up in a city, and it wasn't even the inner city, so to speak, but growing up in Miami, you a dance is going to break out in a gunfight. going to a game, a football game, all of this. So let's see where this lady's at. Look, she may be outside of the suspect's home. We'll see.
Exactly like what link he might have to that home. But again, police were knocking on that door. They had surrounded that particular house, and they pulled up that minivan, that police minivan in front of that home. And our photojournalist saw police officers in plain clothes getting out of that vehicle. And as you can also see, let me back out of the shot again, you can see the officers have, they're stationed all around the house. They've got, long rifles out. But I would describe it as a remarkably calm scene. And from talking to one of my sources, my sense is what they've told me is they have no indications that he is actually inside that house. So my sense is that right now we're in a hurry up and wait kind of situation. They need to stay out here and make sure that he's not.
Yeah, this is a hurry up and wait, hurry up and search, hurry up and get this matter solved and get this individual off the streets. And so, yes, live breaking news here in America. There has been a school shooting as a result of an altercation, allegedly, and two people injured, and they are recovering they're being taken care of at the hospital, and 2 shot and 2 injured. So thankfully, it's not in the true sense of a Columbine or something like that, or other school mass shooting, of someone actually going to school with the intent to, get as many bodies, for lack of a better term, as they can. This seems to stem from, how they say, schoolyard fight. Well, this is high school, so it didn't necessarily happen on the schoolyard, but allegedly it happened in the classroom. And so my concern is, yes, a very small space. I'm very thankful that there hasn't been more injuries, but also how in this day and age, 2021, was this individual able to have a weapon in the classroom in the first place? So yeah, they're continuing their search for the suspect, and parents are beginning to be reunited with their children as parents and guardians. They're being reunited with their students as they have set the all clear on the high school, and then they relocated the children. So anyway, if you're just joining in, welcome. If you're catching the replay, hey, replay gang, make sure you hit the like button on this video. If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Right now, do it. Right now, do it. Make sure that you do that and join in the conversation. We have breaking news out of Arlington, Texas. And the suspect, it continues to be on the run. So, let's see what this individual has to say.
Too, that Mansfield police, y'all did it because they were in droves. I mean, listen, they were in droves. Arlington as well. I mean, I don't even know what to say. My son's not here yet. He's still at the school, so I'm sitting here waiting. I'll wait all freaking night if I have to. It's just bad.
Well, it sounds like your family had a plan that if something happens, that he contacts you.
Absolutely, especially what's going on in the world right now. Andre immediately.
Do y'all hear this?
And he was so calm about it. I'm like, son, I'm the one that was like going crazy, But
yeah.
I prepared him, and he did it. He did it. He's still calm, and to know that the shooting was right next to his class, bullets fly everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I still don't really know who got hurt and all that, but I just feel for these children.
Yes.
I feel for these kids.
Yes.
Right now, police are looking for a student suspect.
So you heard what she said, friends. With all that's going on, her son was prepared. We've heard this. If you catch the replay, rewind. There's a teacher that was on campus. He said it. The kids operated with muscle memory, for lack of a better term, because they've been drilled for this moment. Believe it or not, if your kid goes to a school in the United States, I don't know any school that's not conducting these drills. And what I'm hearing from this parent, what I'm hearing from the teacher that was on staff, these kids responded in kind. They were ready for this moment. So hats off to the teachers that take the drill seriously. Hats off to the students that take the drill seriously and knew what to do. Perhaps that was a preventive measure as to why they remained safe. Let's see.
Process, do you know?
How will he process?
How would he process it?
Well, he's on the football team, and the coach stated that Coach Brown, head coach, is amazing. I talked to him, and he was like, he's going to try to get the team together today. Okay, so school's closed, and I will make sure that my son, Andre, is there. We're going to start today. I'm not waiting.
Good.
I don't think any parent should wait, because as you do that, I see kids around with their parents sometimes in Gothic, and not saying that's a trend, but some of these children are really hurting. They're not talking. They need to talk.
So you reunite with your son.
I can't wait.
You're taking him home. What's next?
I don't know. I just want to hug and love up on my son, period. I can't wait to hug my son, because somebody is not going to be able to do that today.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be able to do it. And
wow. So you hear it, folks. There you have it. Yes, as she said, I share her sentiment. Hug your family a little bit tighter. Hug your children, if you have them, a little bit tighter. You know, you just never know when these situations will affect you and your family. Destiny says, yes, these children are depressed as heck, keeping everything inside. Yep. Some kids are depressed, keeping things inside. Shout out to parents that really take a rigorous effort, being intentional about remaining in their kids' lives. We have teenagers, and we also have children that are adults. And it's important to keep the conversation about any and everything, and I find that a lot of parents just jump to always serious. Well, here's the thing. If you don't communicate with children about the mundane, about what you think is silly, about their interests and everything else like that, they're very less likely to have conversations with you and see you as a trusted place, a safe place to talk about things that are serious, because the relationship isn't there. So, I share the sentiment of the lady that was just speaking on here. Hug your family, hug your children today just a little bit tighter, because someone's not going to be able to do that, or they're going to be able to do it, but their loved one is now injured or in the hospital. So, breaking news out of Arlington, Texas. We will continue to have the conversation. This is not my normal live. So if you're peeking in and you're wondering, what is this woman about? Does she show her face? I normally do, but it's early in the morning here on the West Coast, and my studio is not prepared. Actually, my studio's prepared. I'm not prepared to be on camera. So, but I had to give you guys this breaking news. But if you want to see my smiling face, you want to see what I look like and interact in a more personal way besides this avatar, tune in to my channel. Hit the notification bell so that you know when I drop a video, when I go live. So that you'll be the first to know when I start a live stream and begin the conversation. So this is Melissa Berrien Live. I usually go live Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which happens to be 4 o'clock Greater Mountain Time. So with that being said, hey, Shatika, blessings to y'all. Blessings. Good to see you guys. So with that being said, I will see you guys soon. And be the reason why someone smiles, be kind to one another. And yes, hug your loved ones a little bit tighter and be thankful for every moment. Bye-bye.